Welcome back. After everything that we have seen, well, the artifacts don't seem as all-encompassing and all-powerful as they might once have been. Of course, having a recharge time really does limit its effectiveness, as long as you don't go spamming it around. But if we can see the power corrupt so easily, those that are wanting to harness them for, well, domination, or just to make the weekend food shopping easier. Either way, everyone that obtains one of these relics needs to be thoroughly scrutinized, and with many of them still out there somewhere, hidden away, Nanana's buried them or kept them locked in plain sight, actually. What are we going to get? Who are we going to see introduced further on? Is the master detective going to crack everything? Seeing the main character have a bit more of a backstory and maybe darkened past. Quite interesting. I want to see where it goes. So, sit down, grab a drink, because we should begin. Excuse me, what those noises? I didn't expect to have such eager munching while looking at the nightscape. And it's good to see that after she's in danger from that maid sat next to him. After such a fight to the death that we saw in the last episode, now they're getting on so well. And stolen. You got to act faster next time. While they're busy fighting each other, sweep in and take victory. I mean, food is food. She's got a healthy appetite and a cunt. What are you doing with those chopsticks now? An Excalibur. He's talking highly of himself, though. It's more of a parring dagger, is it not? While distracted, he lost everything. And that is a mystery best left unserved. To be fair, they can do whatever the hell they like. It's chopsticks after all. I'm not sure why it's such a big kind of cliche thing in Japanese manga and anime, at least. Don't know about in society. Haven't really spoken to that many Japanese people regarding this fact. The whole indirect kiss. Honestly, who cares? But to have a yakiniku party, I can go for that right about now. Nothing wrong with a little grilled meat. And if they're able to turn once not too dangerous enemies into friends, what is there to be spoken about later on down the line? That's why the subtitles are up there. I wondered, hang on, what? Made an odd decision to be up there. But to avoid covering other bits of the screen, fairly good typesetting. Hot springs? Oh god. From one relatively interesting scene to another. What's next? Beach episodes? It will be covered? Well, there's no reason to turn it down then, yeah. I feel like a lot of people have far too much free reign over themselves in this world. Need to be pulled in a little. Those buttons are pulling so much weight there. They are. It's some well-made clothes she has. And since she's the true resident of the apartment, I like that he really has just had too much of all their shit. Really not, yeah, not going to be treating him too over-favorly. If only she could go along. He'll lose the battle at this right point. He has been living here a bit too long. Not even pausing the match. He's not taking this seriously, is he? A date? Back with the Terraria. Anyway. Also, I do like one thing is like when it's Nanana playing the games and whatnot, it is not hiding it in the slightest. What was that on the computer just there? That is an interesting outfit. I'll give you that. Maybe not one to be walking around in public in. Might chafe. Probably has some talcum powder on hand. I mean, if she didn't want eyes on her, wouldn't be in public. No turning it away, just like, oh, really, can I? And then, now introductions have been held. Let's get down into business. Where did that blood come from? Well, he has a lot to do here, and there's not exactly, like... He wants to go back anytime. Embezzlement of funds, but does he have anyone that he can tell this to? That's just how much he has no will to go back. It's something to do, something that he can stretch out and claim for himself, rather than have to be a part of this organization. He can't agree with the way they do things. Did he put it in such eloquent ways? He just, was a lot more tactile with how he declared his thoughts. No. This date is going well. So now she's pulling the emotional blackmail type cards. One, does he hold no gratitude towards her throughout all the years? Well, that she did not like the answer he provided. An immediate end to discussion. Everyone's around today. Okay, that's why she's here. He really needed that allowment pay. I wonder why electricity is so high. But Jesus. A small apartment like this, one TV, one games console, and a fridge. Shouldn't be much else that is running that kind of bill. Out on his ass. Who's going to be paying for the bill if he's kicked out? Nanana's not exactly going to be covering it, is she? Something in that little conversation there hit him. Still need to figure out how she was murdered, after all. Some, cash under the table? Part-time work? Considering they don't even have the lights on in this room, it's all above board. So, anything that fits his skill set. He's gonna be a delivery boy. Must be kept secret. Do not. That's the. Who's that voice? A master of disguises. I mean, it did distract him for a brief second, didn't it? I mean, her attempts to break him there might go against her goals of actually trying to carry out her observations and diligence here. Search for a missing person. I see. So there's small, just part-time jobs, and then there's quite important things that are just amongst all the listing. And of course, there's not going to be everything above board. If you... Was he meant to have looked in the case? Well, look who it is. Can he help with this delivery? He knows these back streets after all. It has seen better days. Why would... Even if it is a lawless district, why do people feel the need to destroy where they live? Sure, there's not going to be a lot of money into infrastructure to get rid of all of the weeds and redo the roads, but the graffiti and smashed windows, is it necessary? Have they found out to be a fake? And is he getting the blame? Well, let's see if he's got some people fighting his corner for him. He may. Ah. Maybe he needs to reevaluate the description he has of her. If only she didn't steal all of his money. It's best if you don't know. It's a tough one. He's an accomplice. I like it. Especially in a place like this. Get the wrong idea. Yeah, big cliche. Mohawks and leather jackets. He's gone. Good luck to you. See you in the next life. Oh, has he made a new friend? This is a nice transportation service they provide. I mean, as far as visuals go, is it just a replica? Is it for show? Do you really want to find out that badly? Quite a collection there at the back. What? Who is this? Trying so hard to avoid him completely. Some nice hair accessories, if they are accessories. I do like that there's a whole bunch of stuff. Some crockery, clayware, and then just an old film camera. Why am I getting some... Yeah, he forgets his place. And that includes the staff here. You never know what... And you never know what the things actually can do. Oh no, we can create some stand users here. Is that the sister? Oh, he is frozen solid. Not going to hand over the briefcase? Is it that much of a presence that she's putting out? Or okay. The power of some... Absolutely not. Good thing they don't have the lie detector stone. Who's Nanana? What? I don't think there's certain things you probably should deny, but how well known are the treasures? Arrow of Heaven's Will. Oh, there's another truth-seeking thing. Hide. Well, it could be a complete falsehood and a fabrication, but he just revealed everything. She's one to talk, really, but... Considering the air of this place, you can understand why he's a little on edge. I just ran away because you held up an arrow on me. I'm just scared. Fair. What kind of lie was it? True. Does it only calculate who lies, or is it specific things of what was... Huh. He's racking up those lies. That arrow's gonna hurt. I see. Different warring factions within this place. There's never any peace. I'm sure it'll taste amazing. What kind of kitchen do they have here? Is it fully stocked? They will be keeping her away from him as much as possible from here on. And yeah, I think I was mentioning it earlier, I'm getting a certain Arararararagi vibe. Well, as long as she's happy there. Oh yeah, I guess with that raid, the chance of payment was slightly difficult. I'll just have to turn off the console. Can Nanana help out? Does she have a hidden stash or a bank account that is slowly accruing interest? Hopefully, it's not, I'm 3,000 yen short, so we're going to have to start selling some games. He would find himself next in the soon-to-be departed list if that happened to me. But there are certain aspects in this which are flipped on its head, maybe. Some subversions being made, but then again, maybe not, they're quite obvious. The idea that the upstanding and uptight club leader and a president-looking guy was almost evil. Okay. Having the leader of such a downtrodden section of society be having secret deliveries of baking goods and materials and ingredients. Fair enough, that might be slightly... Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that one. But a mysterious powder in a briefcase. What could it possibly be? Some finely ground wheat flour. Wonder if it's how it was packaged as well. Cut it open, test if it's the real deal. Black market, back alley shipments of flour. How well regarded is this restaurant and bakery? And I will say I do like this show, even though it's got those dumb moments where you have to roll your eyes and accept it at what's being shown. Some of the camera angles and character designs and intensity of perversions of some of the characters, really. Nothing seems so out of place or obstinately offensive by it. I wonder why that is. There are other shows where it's hit me and I haven't felt it. I haven't managed to just agree with it. Kind of like Data Life. Some of those bits where it's like, okay. Kind of pulled me out of the moment. This show doesn't do that, and I don't know why. Because it is almost as bad. I think maybe because the actual pretense of the show and the dangers isn't quite as high strung as Data Life. There isn't the world destruction on it on edge. Also, the idea of having to pass the safety of yourself, the potential dangers of all of these treasures around, going into unknown territory and dangerous areas to pay off utility bills. Something I think that a lot of us can really get behind now. It's been a tough few years. And also that with the idea of treasures out there, people have already found some. There's probably a market for them, selling it to the government to have put them into protection or be used for military purposes, or find themselves into collectors' hands. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bidding war to try and find them, or people out there hunting people who had found treasures that may not have the best protection for them. Also, like we saw with the cane, and there was a limit to what it was actually capable of. What kind of things are we going to see for the other treasures out there? Is there, as I said, a limit to what they can actually do? And what drawbacks they contain? I do think that with the Master Detective being able to hide in plain sight merely by changing her hair, she may need to take some advice from others that are quite good at mimicry of other people, whether it be a rubber face or just modulating the voice. Am I going to have to be on guard with any character I see? Check the heights. Weigh them against what I think they should be compared to the other characters in the scene. Make sure we're actually talking to who we think we are. It's always there in the background somewhere. But I can say, thanks to this episode, and well, actually the very, very first scene of this episode, I have been hungry throughout it, and I can't really think properly, so I hate this show for it. That's it, yeah, dropping it because I'm hungry. I want some barbecue. But whether it's shared with friends, enemies, or just some complicated backstories and acquaintances, I'm sure there's plenty of it to come in the future, and annoying neighbours inviting themselves round for a game party, using up even more of your precious electricity. To be fair, his life could be harder. It's going fairly well, just a few small threats of death so far. But the whole deal with his father, those that used to know him back before he was, well, made his escape from that life. Is there a bridge back where he can have some understanding of how it worked, their ideals, how they went around about things, without having to try and take that leap and have a bit of a standing for himself, how he wants to approach the world? It's going to be difficult to change all of their minds and to see how to look at things how he's seeing it. And I don't think he's up to the task. But let's see, there are people in his corner. It might just take a while to come across. But I'm enjoying it. Hopefully you are too. If you've reached this far, at least you've either fallen asleep, or the battery in your mouse has died and you haven't managed to click off it. In which case, you're stuck. But you should try and let me know. Leave a like on the video, consider commenting down below, or maybe even subscribing. Make sure you don't want to miss out on future uploads. But for now, give yourselves a bit of rest, because I want to see you for the next one. My patrons are the extra helpings of meat to the banquet that is my channel, and without them, I would be going very hungry. So I really do need to thank each and every one of them, and even more so to M.O, Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, Ruben Fulamawa, Raywin, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else. Because somehow, you've managed to find some treasure in this man's trash.